So today's video is going to be about roaches that eat wood. These are my absolute all-time favorite roaches. So I get asked a lot why I don't have the, I guess, prettier roaches like the emerald green roach and that kind of, I guess, more expensive roaches. Well, here's the reason why. Because these roaches, they are not the prettiest, I guess, for most people, but they certainly can cost quite a lot of money because they are pretty rare. But just let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is Panesthia, angustipennis cognata, and I hope I can show you these roaches because, as you can see, they here's one adult. Okay, so I just really hope you can see it. Oh yes, okay, so here's an adult. Okay, and here's another adult. So these roaches, they like hiding in the soil, and they burrow tunnels for themselves, and that's where they spend most of the day. They come to the surface to munch on some dead rotten wood. They eat some leaf litter, and well, maybe once in a while, like once every 2 weeks, I give them some cat or basically cat food, some good quality cat food, and fruits, or maybe beetle jelly that I make at home. That's what they eat. So for some people, they might not be the prettiest roaches. I find them very interesting. Supposedly they live in family groups, and there might be some form of parental care that you can observe in the species. And in many colonies, the wings are missing for the adults, but for some reason all of the adults I have wings, at least what I've seen so far. You can see that some parts of the wings are missing, but I will show you my Salganea roaches, hopefully, and then you will be able to see the difference. So I don't know if it's visible on camera, but here are their tunnels. So here are the openings of their tunnels. I don't know how I can show you that, but there are the tunnels. And these small white things are springtails. They just love it here. And yeah, they eat this type of wood. There is yeah, they eat quite a lot. And but also interesting, I really like to show you some nymphs, but I cannot seem to find any. So the nymphs are more reddish in color, I guess reddish brown. I have quite a lot of individuals here, and they're always on the surface, but of course when I try to make a video about them, they hide. Yeah, but I will show you my other roaches. So to keep them, it's pretty easy. One thing that might be hard for some people who live in warmer climates is that they don't seem to like warm weather. So I keep them in the coldest part of the room and at the lowest shelf, so where it's basically the coldest in the whole room where I keep them. But they don't seem to tolerate any temperature above 30 degrees. And also one interesting thing, so the top of the lid is pretty dirty, so don't mind that. But you can see they they chew through the plastic. So they supposedly eat only wood, but this is the second time that it happened to me. That they basically, if you have ventilation holes, they can actually chew through the plastic. So that's why I have some tape in there, because I actually lost 2 nymphs because they crawled through. Just close it so I can show you. This plastic bin is quite high. Oh, sorry. As you can see, it's 4.5 liters, and almost the whole thing is soil now because they dig their tunnels there. Okay, so here is the other subspecies, the brevipennis. They are a bit less prolific. I have maybe about 10 nymphs in the smaller tub, and you can see some gnats here. Okay, so as you can see, oh sorry, too much leaf litter. Okay, so you can see that they prefer to stay in the soil. They don't really burrow inside the wood. They just eat it. And these are still nymphs. They basically look like tiny adults, but without the wings. To keep the subspecies is basically the same, and I have so few of these and so small because I put them too close to the window, and they got some sun, and it was just too warm for them. And this video is going to be, as I mentioned, a 2-in-1 because, oh sorry, I would like to show you my Salganea roaches as a comparison. So as you could see, with all these tubs, basically I have really small ventilation holes, and with this one where the lid isn't that tight fitting, I don't have any ventilation holes at all because all these roaches prefer higher humidity and they don't seem to mind the lack of airflow at all. So this is just what works for me. Oh, okay, you could see a nymph there. Okay, I have a baby. That's nice. So, okay, so as you can see, this is a bigger piece of wood, and what they do is they just bury themselves in the wood. So as I mentioned, this is a Salganea species. This is Salganea taiwanensis, yes. No, sorry, it's Salganea raggei. The other one I will show you is Salganea taiwanensis. So there is another, it's really, I know it's really hard to see, but there are 2 adults that are actually in there. They are really similar to Panesthia roaches. They are maybe more browner in coloration. As you can see, they eat all the wood that I provide them, and they don't eat all types of wood. So I thought that they prefer softer wood, but as you can see, the exterior is still quite hard, and this is a harder piece of wood, but they still ate everything. It was quite a lot of, quite a bigger piece of wood. And here I provided these smaller ones that are soft to the touch, like a sponge basically, and they just don't touch it, they don't eat it. And these other pieces, it's this one is pear from my own garden. They really seem to like it. I have a really old pear tree in our garden, about more than at least 100 years old. I don't know exactly, but yeah, that's what they eat. And oak leaves and rotten oak wood, and I have quite a lot of here. But as you can see, they are not for those people who like to, I don't know, watch the roaches, because they just bury themselves in the wood, and you can see them pretty rarely. They are much less active than the Panesthia roaches, and obviously normally I don't dig them out ever. I just put them, oh okay, so here's a nymph I really like to show you because they are a bit different. As you can see, they are much lighter in coloration, and maybe a bit more slender than Panesthia, but I really like them. So these are my favorite roaches, and I know it's not I don't know, not everybody's dream to have these roaches, but I find them really interesting and actually quite pretty. So as I mentioned, these don't tolerate heat well at all. So for summer, at summertime here in where I live, unfortunately it can get pretty warm, but I live in a house that's made of mud, basically mud bricks, so it doesn't get that warm in our home, but still we are going to need to install an AC for them. For the roaches, of course it's for us as well, but I can take the heat, but these roaches cannot. And as you can see, my colony isn't doing that well because I lost maybe about 6 nymphs when I put them near a window and they got some sun. But if you have a colder room in your home or an AC that you can run when it's too hot. These roaches are just great and pretty low maintenance actually. If you can get some rotten food for them, and I really suggest providing multiple types of foods, because they're not eating what I thought they are going to eat. They are going to do pretty well for you. So and what I was recommended and what I will try during the springtime is growing some mushrooms. So if you like oyster mushrooms, you can actually grow them on tree trunks. So you can just cut out your tree. So, of course, you can buy the pieces of logs, and you can grow mushrooms on them. You can eat the mushrooms and you can give the food to the roaches. So that's what I'm going to do, because that is more sustainable than just raiding the forest all the time. Because these guys, I have maybe, I think 8 individuals in this tub, and they eat quite a lot, honestly. And my other roaches, Panesthia, they eat even more. And of course, I'm planning to keep more species if I can acquire them. So I think these roaches are easy to keep. I really love them. There is so much to learn about their behavior, because there isn't that much published data about them. So if you like a challenge, and you don't mind that you cannot see your roaches that often, then I really highly recommend all of these species. Oh, and I don't know. Yeah, and here's one downside really for those roaches. So this is Salganea taiwanensis, and honestly, I don't know how many roaches I have in here, because I don't see them ever. You can see that there are holes in this wood, and I know they are in the wood, and I only know that I have roaches in here because I have some roach poop in there. This lighter brown round things, it's their poop. But I haven't seen any roaches, so I don't know how many roaches I have in here. I know I have some, maybe one. I honestly don't know because I never seen them. I don't know. So yeah, but they are still cool. So if you are up for this challenge and you like something that's a bit unusual, even among roaches, I do really recommend these guys, because they are awesome. So thank you so much for your attention, and see you in the next video.